African presidents who said no to homosexuality in their countries. Hello Displorers, welcome back to another interesting video presented to you by Displo, and thanks for watching. In this video, we are going to talk about African presidents who said no to homosexuality in their countries. To understand the views of homosexuality and its controversies around the African continent, we understand the need to retrace its roots to ancient civilization. Homosexuality has been around for as long as the wheels of the sands of time saw the rise of the Greeks and great Egyptian pharaohs, like Pharaoh Nusere during the 5th dynasty, c. 2494 to 2345 BC. During his reign, two of his officials, Nyang Kun and Khnum Hotep, had relations together, and eventually their practices spread throughout modern northern African history. Fast forward to present day, what would be a normal sociophilia in ancient times and the modern Western world has met violent opposition in 32 African countries, with only 22 consenting to homosexuality as a human rights accepted clause. Of the opposing African nations, 6 current presidents have expressly said no to homosexuality in their countries when questioned about the subject, and in this video we shall find out who those leaders are. But first, if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Number 1. Macky Sall, President of Senegal. Born on 11th December 1961, Macky Sall is a Senegalese politician who has been President of Senegal since April 2012. He is currently the president, having won the 2019 presidential post. After a feud with the former president Abdoulaye Wade, he founded his own party named APR, ending up as the first president after Senegalese independence from France. Senegal is predominantly a Muslim nation, one of the stiffest with regards to homosexuality and LGBT rights. Homosexuality is criminalized and punishable here for up to 5 years in prison. Although prosecution may be rare, the stakes are clear on the issue. President Sall defended the criminalization of homosexuality on 13 February 2020, stating, "We cannot ask Senegal to legalize homosexuality and organize tomorrow's gay pride," he said. "It is not possible. Our society does not accept it," he said. "It is our way of living and being, and it has nothing to do with homophobia," he added. The Senegalese president said his country respected human rights, but he emphasized that no charges on laws regarding homosexuality would be forthcoming. Number 2. Yoweri Museveni, President of Uganda. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is currently the President of Uganda. Born 15 September 1944, he is a retired general and politician who has served as President of Uganda since 1986. Yoweri Museveni has signed an approval in the law, which was presented as a bill in 2009, toughening penalties for gay people, but without a clause criminalizing those who do not report them. It includes life sentences for gay sex and same-sex marriage, although a proposed sentence of up to 14 years for first-time offenders has been removed. In 2014, Museveni sought the counsel of US President Barack Obama on helping with scientific research to evaluate if homosexuality was a genetic issue or a matter of choice. He had initially refused to sign the bill, saying that it was wrong to punish people who were born abnormal. But when scientists proved it was a behavioral pattern of choice, Museveni on an interview told CNN that homosexuals are disgusting and as such the practice is unnatural, not a human right. Number 3. Emmerson Mnangagwa, President of Zimbabwe. Emmerson Mnangagwa is another African president who is tying on homosexual issues. Emmerson was born on 15 September 1942 and grew up a Zimbabwean revolutionary and politician, and has served as President of Zimbabwe since 24 November 2017. The government of Zimbabwe for over 2 decades has carried out rampant campaigns against LGBT rights. Sodomy, which is classified as unlawful sexual conduct, is defined in the criminal code as either anal sexual intercourse or any indecent act between consenting adults, applying to heterosexuals, but not to lesbians. In January 2018, Mnangagwa spoke on the issue of LGBT rights for the first time and stated that those people who wanted same-sex marriage are the people who should canvass for it, but it's not my duty to campaign for this. However, in May 2019, Mnangagwa's cabinet approved amendments to Zimbabwean marriage law, which would ban both child marriages and same-sex marriages, lining it with the constitution. Number 4. Adama Barrow, President of the Gambia. Adama Barrow, born 15 February 1965, is a Gambian politician and real estate developer who is the 3rd and current president of the Gambia, another predominantly Muslim-majority nation. He has been in office since 2017. Before his exit from the presidency, former President Yahya Jammeh had enacted a law against same-sex relations and had shunted LGBT rights in the Gambia. In fact, the Criminal Code Amendment Act 2014 introduced the new crime of aggravated homosexuality for serial offenders and gay or lesbian people who live with HIV, and that came with the punishment of a lifetime in prison. The bill was passed by Gambia's parliament, the National Assembly, on 25th August, and by the 9th of October, that bill passed into law. Contrary to a few popular opinions suggesting the new Barrow government which would revise the former stakes on LGBT rights, Adama Barrow has ensured that his government shows no signs of changing or weakening the current laws on homosexuality. He is one of the outspoken presidents who have made international organizations know his stand on the matter and is by no means ready to avert any consequences to his position whatsoever. Number 5. Idriss Déby, President of Chad. Idriss Déby Itno is a Chadian politician and former military officer who has been the president of Chad since 1990. He was born on 18th June 1952 and grew up as a revolutionary leader, heading the Patriotic Salvation Movement. He took power at the head of a rebellion against President Hissène Habré in December 1990 and has since survived various rebellions and coup attempts against his own rule. Chad is amongst the 32 countries in Africa to outlaw homosexuality after government ministers voted to make same-sex relations a crime, attracting a penalty of up to 20 years in prison. Although Chad's penal code does not explicitly mention homosexuality, but Section 361 of a drafted new code states that punishment for anyone who has sexual intercourse with someone of the same sex is 15 to 20 years in jail, and a fine of 50,000 to 500,000 Central African francs is to be paid. This goes in accordance to a document seen by Agence France-Presse. According to Social and Human Rights, this development is part of a wave of homophobia sweeping across Africa as enforced in Chad. Some observers believe it may have been a response to the increased visibility and assertiveness of gay lifestyles and politics in Africa. Number 6. Muhammadu Buhari, President of Nigeria. Last but not the least on our list of presidents who have vehemently disregarded homosexuality in their countries is none other than Muhammadu Buhari. Buhari was born on 17 December 1942 and he is a strong Nigerian politician who has been president of Nigeria since 2015. Buhari is a retired Major General of the Nigerian Army and served as military head of state from 1983 to 1985, whilst he ousted the former president in a military coup d'etat. He was such a strong force to reckon with, the term Buharism was ascribed to the authoritarian policies of his military regime. In recent times, the man has described himself as a converted Democrat. Nigeria is a very culturally diverse country, with almost a third of the country set against homosexuality, and so just a small LGBT community exists versus the heterosexual mass. One of the main decisions that defined Buhari's regime in the advent of his being president was his strong opposition to gay marriages and everything LGBT. In 2015, Quartz.com posted the US African President Summit on various issues including LGBT freedom rights. Buhari was one of the attendees of the summit, and when the US president asked him about his views on gay marriage, he clearly said sodomy is abhorrent, referring to same-sex sexual relations. In 2019, when Buhari won his second term of office, many LGBT activists had low expectations for their rights, as he had previously maintained the law against homosexuality enacted in the Goodluck Jonathan regime. It comes as no surprise that the majority of African nations do not accept homosexuality in their cultures, and a few presidents have verbally expressed their stakes on that. It is a fact that Africans have always held on their most inherent values, even through the influence of modern civilizations and Western cultures. There you have it, explorers. Those are the African presidents who said no to homosexuality in their countries. Thanks for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and share.